Everybody running target CPA or target ROAS on Google is about to get a wake-up call, and most people have no idea it's coming. On August 17th, Google is changing how target-based bidding actually behaves inside your account. And if you're not paying attention to this, you are going to spend a lot more money to get the exact same results. So today, I'm going to walk you through exactly what's changing, who it affects, and the 3 specific setups we keep finding in accounts that are about to get exposed by this. Let's get right into it. All right, so here's the update in plain English. Starting August 17th, 2026, this applies to you if 2 things are true. Number 1, you're running a target-based bidding strategy, so that's target CPA or target ROAS. And number 2, that specific campaign is limited by budget. So here's what's been happening up until now. Say you set a $10 target CPA. Historically, if your campaign was limited by budget, Google could actually outperform that target, give you a CPA of $5 instead of $10, because the system was just grabbing whatever conversions were cheapest inside your budget, instead of actually pacing toward the number that you gave it. So your $10 target was basically a soft suggestion. You asked for 10, but Google gave you 5 just because it could, which was great. But after August 17th, that is completely gone. If you're limited by budget, the system will now trend toward your actual target instead of over-delivering past it. So if you set $10, it's going to drift towards $10, not sit at $5 forever, which means if you don't touch anything, you are going to spend more to get the exact same revenue that you're getting right now. Now, look, I'm going to be blunt here. If you have a prospecting campaign, a campaign that's supposed to be finding new customers, and it's sitting there limited by budget, that should never really have happened in the first place. If a campaign is limited by budget, that means the system has already proven it can hit your target, and there is more volume sitting there available, and you're just not letting it get it. There is no version of that on a real prospecting campaign that makes sense in the long term if the campaign's actually working. So honestly, if this update is about to hurt you, that's less Google changed the rules and more this was a gap in your account the whole time and it's about to get exposed. So let's go through the 3 specific setups we keep finding when we audit accounts in over 100 audits this quarter alone that are about to get hit by this update. The first one is branded and non-branded traffic sitting in the same campaign. You've probably heard me talk about this a million times, but this is huge in PMAX specifically. If you're running a target-based strategy on a mixed campaign with a default setup, the system is always going to reach for the hottest, easiest to convert traffic first. And branded traffic converts insanely well all the time, as you know. I'm talking 5, 10, 15, even 40x ROAS on branded terms alone, sometimes more, sometimes 600, 700. So say you're running one generic target across that mixed campaign. Let's say a 3x ROAS target. That target is way too easy for your branded traffic specifically. It's got tons of headroom underneath it. And here's the problem. And this is already happening right now before the update even kicks in. Because branded has so much room under that floor, the system can afford to overpay for it. It bids more aggressively into branded auctions, pushes your CPCs up, and still comfortably hits your target because the margin is just so wide. You're already overpaying for traffic that was probably going to convert anyway, and Google gives you 0 incrementality data to tell you how much of that spend you actually needed. And then after August 17th, this gets even worse because now the system has even more reason to spend aggressively into that branded headroom. It's actively chasing your target number instead of just quietly over-delivering. So if you're already overpaying for brand, expect to pay even more, which is just going to waste your efficiency so much. So go check your own account. Do you actually know your branded versus non-branded split and what each one converts at on its own? Because if you don't, that one target you're running was never a real target for either segment. It was just an average of 2 completely different types of traffic. Second one, and this is specific to shopping because shopping doesn't have keyword targeting. In search, isolating your brand is very easy. You just build a campaign around your branded keyword with exact match formats, right? But in shopping, you can't say only show for brand name unless using a script. So early on, before your negatives have properly filtered things out, running a TROAS on your shopping traffic can actually be a legitimate way to qualify the traffic a bit because the system leans toward higher intent queries, and that part's fine. But the risk is running it unprotected. Say you set a 5x target ROAS on branded shopping, but branded is actually converting converting at a 15, 20, even 50x, right? That's a massive amount of headroom once again. Same story as before. It's already happening a little bit, but after August 17th, it's going to get a lot worse. And because that branded auctions are so small and concentrated, that CPC can spike almost overnight and go absolutely crazy. And the fix isn't necessarily to ditch target ROAS entirely. If you still want that traffic qualifying benefit early on, you just run it inside a portfolio bid strategy with a bid cap. So then you keep the qualifying effect without letting the system overpay massively per click. Or just run manual CPC on branded shopping and just sidestep the entire thing. And the third one is seasonal or launch campaigns. These don't have months of stable data behind them, so you're basically guessing at a target. Say you're launching a new product on a fixed budget and you play it safe with like a 200% ROAS target because you genuinely don't know what to expect. If that product actually converts at a 400% or a 500% because of launch hype or no competition in the market, for example, that's a ton of headroom once again sitting under a target that you just pulled out of thin air. After August 17th, the same system spends into that headroom, the same as branded, chasing more volume at a target that was never actually calibrated to what the campaign could do. On a fixed limited budget, that means burning through that budget way faster for less actual relative value. And in a launch window, you don't have weeks to just sit back and adjust like you would on an evergreen prospecting campaign. And there's a flip side too, right? If you guess too aggressively with your target, the campaign might not even spend at all. It'll just stall out chasing this crazy ROAS target that doesn't even exist. But either way, you've just completely wasted your launch window. So if a campaign's only running for a few weeks, honestly, just skip the target altogether. It's probably the best way to go about it. Just run maximize conversions or maximize conversion value instead. That way you don't have any target to miss and there's no risk of the system sitting on its hands or burning your budget chasing this crazy headroom. It'll just find the best result it can inside of whatever you give it. Now, every one of those three setups comes back to the exact same mistake. Someone's setting a target without actually knowing what the campaign was capable of. So here's what you can do about it, and you have three options. Option one is adjust your target to match what you're actually getting right now. This is your safest default if you like your current results and you don't want to risk losing them. This is what I recommend for the majority of accounts. The direction depends on your strategy. If you're on target CPA and Google's been easily giving you $5 when you set $10, drop your target to $5 to lock that in so Google doesn't drift away. If you're on target ROAS and Google's been giving you 600% when you only set 300% goal, raise your target to 600%. Option two is drop the rigid target altogether and just switch to maximize conversions or maximize conversion value. The system just extracts the most value it can this way out of whatever budget you give it. Now, this works great for seasonal campaigns and honestly for any budget constrained prospecting campaign where you don't have the history to set a real target yet, but you do need to be careful because it could go a bit crazy without the limits. And option three, and this is the only one that actually fixes the root problem, is raise the budget. If your prospecting campaign is limited by budget, the system has already proven it can hit your target and there's more volume sitting there. You're just not letting it find it. So raise the budget and let it run with the same target. Just know that as Google reaches into colder audiences with that extra budget, you will see your ROAS come down or your CPA go up a bit. And that's what you need to expect. That's not the update breaking, that's just how the demand works, right? If that's news to you, you've probably picked the wrong industry. So that's the update. That's what's changing on August 17th, why it matters, and the three setups most likely to get hit by it. If you want a second set of eyes on your account before that date rolls around to make sure that you're not going to get destroyed when Google passes through the update, that's literally what I do every day, and I'd be more than happy to check it out. If you're doing over 50K a month with your e-commerce brand, feel free to book a call down below. Be more than happy to speak to you and figure out how we might be able to help, not only with this update, but just scaling your account in general. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more content like this, please consider subscribing. And if you have any recommendations for future videos, please just drop them in the comments down below. I'll see you guys in the next one.